I don't know who you are, but I don't want to change you. I want you to be exactly as you are. This is going to be fascinating to see how Yuri deals with the uncertainties. Like, look at this. Like you don't drop that in episode 1. Yeah, you drop that at episode 3 for a bombshell. Like, holy hell. And it also makes the kind of loop mechanic for your MC who wakes up not knowing shit all the more believable. I mean, with how the last loop, or the first loop went, I'm going to assume this girl's going to kill us. One of which is going to be the new girl who's all over Yuri, and the other is either going to be Miss Redhead or the other one. So basically, who's ever already betrayed us. I think they're going to try to sideswipe us like that. There's nothing like I'm picking up on that would give me clues. It's just, if I was to write something like that, I'd try to pull the rug from under the viewer's legs like that. Oh, so you can't tell if you got it right. Oh, that sucks. So they have no idea. Oh, and what happens if we get to a point where there's like 8 characters spawned in and there's only 2 humans? That could be bad. This is really cute and wholesome. Right now, I gotta be real. Right now, these 2 are the ones that I'm not trusting. Mainly because it seems like they're trying to get their stories to match. This is such a fun show, though, for weekly. Like, this isn't the type of show I'd want to binge. This is definitely a weekly show. My gut right now is saying she's not stabbing us again just yet. I don't have enough information on her to say one way or another. Rockio is a character I feel like is safe, but I also think would make sense to have one of them eliminated early. One of them has to be. One of them has to be. So I was right about, but who was the second? It was Stella and Jinna. Huh. Oh, so that's different. So the difference this time is engineer credentials. This is the type of character we've seen up to this point who would naturally like want people to trust them because like I'm the best. My brain hurts. I don't know if I'm suspicious of you or not. Imagine they made it Jinna 3 episodes in a row or 3 loops in a row. They just keep her like always a fucking betrayer. So this is why we won't be able to like pinpoint everyone every time. See, I thought we were just going to be able to spam the question, but I guess that makes... So there's a cap. This has to be some fucking Squid Game shit. There's some rich billionaire doing this shit for fun 100%. So basically what we're saying is that in this case, the Gnosia was convinced that Jinna knew who he was and that the engineer wouldn't investigate him this time. That makes sense. Oh. Good anime. I guess we finished. So even if we win, we get looped? What type of sick Elon Musk billionaire bullshit is this? This gotta be some Squid Game shit. Is this gonna keep looping until we eliminate all the Gnosia without eliminating any humans in the process? In the wise words of ReZero, my brain trembles. This is amazing. This is cinema. Of course, this was just a small snippet of the full live reaction. Catch that over on Patreon, but let's jump into the review. We got a lot to break down this week. So for the record, it's now been approximately a half hour since I finished this latest episode. The way I do it, you know, I record the old reaction, then I cut up the part of the reaction I want in this video. Sometimes I have a snack, then I record the review portion. And my brain is trembling just as much as it did when I first finished. You know, sometimes like you finish something, you're like, oh man, that's the best shit ever. But then the buzz wears off. And usually for me, 10 minutes go by, I'm probably not buzzing as much. Not with this show. I still firmly believe this show has the greatest chance of falling off out of any show I'm watching this season, because one wrong move, the writing becomes sloppy. But on the same, you know, you gotta also acknowledge the fact that in 3 episodes, I've seen at least a dozen minefields that should have set the show off and turned it into a mess. And instead, every time I think this is going to ruin it, you gave the character the ability to, if they ask a question, Spidey sense goes off. We know if it's a Gnosia. Therefore, there's no stakes. We just got to spam that question a couple times in a row. Okay, we're giving limiters. That's smart. Oh, and now we got Engineer. Engineer can deep dive and figure out who's a liar. Can only do it once a day. I'm sure people will criticize like, oh, but how realistic is this, right? Like, why is it functioning like a game? Yes, we understand it's adapting a video game, but like, what would be the logic? To be honest, I truly think we got some Squid Game shit going on here. But whatever they decide to do, I'm sure will make sense in the end. But for right now, that's what I'm going to assume is happening, because it makes it feel like it would be justifiable. Because if you're going to look at me and say rich people wouldn't use poor people or normal people for their amusement, you don't even have to have seen Squid Game. It happens IRL, just under the guise of bullshit. But seriously, I had about a 50% accuracy this week of like picking out Gnosia's first time. Okay, here's this, 2 betrayers, and then it's just like the more I see, they finished it. They actually cleared it. I thought for sure we wouldn't have a full ass clear until the end of the story. But by the 4th loop, 5th loop, I forget, whatever. It's been, I can count it on one hand how many loops it's been. We get both Gnosia. We have humans. Cinema, we win. They still loop Yuri. And the only thing that can make sense to me is one of 2 things. One, there's no escape on this Ferris wheel. This Ferris wheel is just going to keep turning and turning and turning. Probably for some amusement. Or 2 is what I'm currently thinking, and I'm going to stick to this theory until proven otherwise. In order for the loops to stop, we have to find every Gnosia without eliminating any humans. And then a loop can continue. Now granted, I don't get the impression we're killing the humans, like we're just putting them into a freezer, but I feel like that's going to be a part of the rules. The time will tell. The end of episode 2 confirmed to me that this show would be hard to predict because rather than keeping the same characters every time, we could have new characters. We got introduced to another woman who was obsessed with Yuri. We got an alien-looking mofo. Who knows what we could do? The end of this latest episode, there's another psycho who's saying, "Go back to sleep, pretty boy." And I don't know what we're doing here. All I know is the opening has like 30 goddamn characters, and I'm fully convinced we will see all of them by the time we reach the end of this 2 core. I do get that these shows are not for everyone, but I can't stress enough that this is not your run-of-the-mill death game, death battle style series. This is actually competently written, and the way characters are voting, and the way the author is avoiding making it seem too convenient. As an example, the alien at the end, and I know it's technically not an alien, they say it's like some sort of flesh thing, I'm calling it an alien, you gotta understand. Basically, ended up picking Jinnah to assassinate rather than the person who announced themselves as the engineer. Logically, you would want to say, well, that makes no sense. Like, you would eliminate the person who can read into everything. But what they did was that, like, okay, based on current information, it doesn't seem like the engineer Yuri would target the alien. So therefore, the person who did vote for the alien, that being Jinnah, it makes sense to eliminate the person who's currently suspicious of you. Next night is when probably Yuri would have been eliminated. Logic. It's very easy to dumb a lot of what I'm seeing down as like, oh, it's just convenient writing. But when you actually take a step back, it actually feels competently written. I firmly believe I have as much of a chance one week coming up here saying they missed the mark and everything I've liked about this show is now out the window because of one wrong step, as I do coming up here every week saying this is currently anime of the season. Now, 2 times in a row, I'm coming up here saying it's anime of the season. There's a lot of cinema this week, but absolute cinema. You let me know your thoughts down below, whether if you're a game player or anime only like me, what did you think and who's your current favorite character? Do let me know. Drop a like, share, support, subscribe if you're new on your Patrons where you catch those full live reactions to all this and more. Like, hey, I also like to give video shoutouts to my patrons. Alright, so today we got Xtrots, Sovereign, Tobias Reinhold, Flavdorks 414, Wen2X, Drift, Ukahanzo Itsuhuzi, and we also have Gutter Snipe 1. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. You'll have a good one.